Hey guys, how's it going? I am the cyclist vlogger, and this is the news, the very first episode of the news. Today I'll be talking about the Vuelta and also some new tech that was released. So I only started watching the Vuelta on stage 9, and on stage 9 it was the major, the one with a huge amount of crashes, with one of the riders still currently in hospital, and they're still in an induced coma. So all the best in recovery for them. Um, and also Rowan Dennis crashed out. Um, and then later on Froome retired from the race. So on stage 9, Dumoulin won, and he took the general classification. He won in front of Froome. It was really surprising. Dumoulin isn't definitely not a climber just due to his big frame, big body build. Um, and I was just really surprised how well he went up that last hill. Then on stage 10, I can't say it, Spagali from NTN Quebecer, the South African team, took the sprint just over John Degenkolb, which I was incredibly impressed with as well. MTN Quebec is going pretty well at the moment. Then general classification basically stayed the same, with Dumoulin, Rodriguez, Oliver, Chavez all a minute behind, and Chavez dropped basically because of stage 9. Then Aru, Valverde, Quintana, Froome were all within 20 minutes of Dumoulin. Stage 11, Mikel Landa won the stage on the final climb. Second was Aru, about a minute 22 behind. And then the rest of the group, he attacked on the final climb and was just incredible, really. And Quintana finished a whole 14 minutes and 20 seconds behind the leader, dropping him further down. And basically, on that stage, that's when it ruined his chances of overall bringing him back to win, bringing him back to 9th at 3 minutes and 7 seconds. In stage 9, Danny Van Poppel won the sprint just over Oak Greenedge's Dal Impey, and Aru continued to lead the overall. Yep. And then stage 13, which was just last night, Oliveira won in a single man break. I was actually watching that at work today on the iPad, and it was very impressive. The end was completely flat, and he just was riding away from the 23-man break from behind. Aru still currently leads the overall, basically because those 24 riders that were up the road were really far down in the overall standings. So currently the Vuelta, Aru's still leading. I think so far it's been pretty good, actually. I think it's been more interesting than the Tour, where by now the GC was basically set because the gap was so large, and then the leading team just didn't worry about chasing. But now they have to chase because Aru only has 27 seconds back to. Yeah, I'm not sure who's in second at the moment, but yeah, he only has 27 seconds. I think it's not Dumoulin anymore, but Chavez is in third. He had a very good first. He had a very good first few stages. The time trial at the beginning was made it incredibly interesting. The tour was already controversial before it had even started. It absolutely blew up on social media. I thought it was an interesting choice. It was definitely the most interesting and exciting team time trial of the year so far. I think that will be the most interesting one for a couple years to come. I thought it was very brave of the Vuelta organisers to actually decide to do that, and still let it affect the team classification. So on to new tech. Um, there's been, since it's towards the end of the year, everyone's getting the new 2016 group sets and wheels, and all the bikes and all that are coming out now. The main ones that have stood out for me this week have been the new S-Works Venge. I really like the look of it. It's specialized first ever integrated brake system where they've actually gone to the effort of um, integrating the brake system into the actual frame, so it's now incredibly aero. I just think it looks really cool. It's a different design to what most other companies have done in their aero bikes, where they have just moved the brakes to behind the forks. But this time they've actually just put a bit of carbon around it, so that they don't even they like completely redesign it, since this is the first time Specialized has actually redesigned one of their bikes, and they're saying that at I think it's over 40 kilometers, averaging 40 k's an hour, it's the same speed as their time trial bikes and all that and all their triathlon bikes. So that's pretty impressive for them to put it in there. And they said that they've improved the cornering, and they've also improved the descent and climbing, which was one of the major problems with the old Avengers. My friend had I think it was a 2013 S-Works Venge, and he said that when you go down hills on the old Venge, it feels like you're descending on a brick. So that's definitely improvement to actually be able to descend on them. And the new Trek Domain has been released, and I just have picked this one out basically because it's a really good looking. I've seen them throughout the Vuelta, obviously, but I just think they look really good. They look nice and sharp, and with lots of aero bikes at the moment, most of the time I look at them and I think, oh God, what have they done? It it looks like it would go really fast, but it's not aesthetically appealing. And this is the first bike that I've actually seen where it's aesthetically appealing to me, and it looks like it'll actually go really fast. And there's been quite a few group sets actually released. The one that really caught my eye was the Rota Uno that it was released recently. And that just looks like it's going to be a really sharp design. It looks like it's going to be quite reliable. Of course, Rota making the Q rings, them now releasing their own group set. So it'll make it. I think that will make a really big difference in the group set market, having a Rota in there. And also SRAM has released their very first electronic group set called the ETAP. I think it's definitely it's got the hydraulic brake system as well integrated into it. It comes in both disc and normal wind brakes, so you can use it for cyclocross if you want. And with all these group sets being released, it's going to make all of the group sets become cheaper because there'll be a wider market. Usually there's only been Campagnolo and Shimano, and just recently SRAM has come in. But now there's SRAM, Rota, Shimano, and Campag. There's going to be a larger competition, and Campag and Shimano won't really be able to price match as much as they do at the moment. So they're going to have to decrease their prices, which is going to make it a lot better for us consumers, because that means we can get decent group sets for cheaper. Because currently, the Ultegra group set that I'm wanting to upgrade is $1,400. So that's probably going to come down within the next year or so, probably a year or 2 years after Rota and SRAM develop their group sets at the moment. Currently, where I'm working, SRAM group sets are pretty feared because they're quite unreliable. So once SRAM develops it further, they will actually be able to be competitive in the market and be able to sell their group sets at lower prices and people will still buy them. So all of this new releasing means that it'll be much better for us consumers. So that's all for the news this week, and on Wednesday I'll have a video up about the 80-kilometer race I'm doing tomorrow. I'll do a little bit of a video of warming up, and I'll do like the final kilometer of the course or so. This ride, by the way, this one that you're seeing now, was me doing a couple of hills around the suburb where I live. And just here, you can see some wallabies. And that's what you get in Australia. You get wallabies standing on the side of the road. So, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, do give me a like and subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.